In this video, we'll go over everything you need to know before you start creating and selling books on Amazon KDP. I'm going to show you how it works, why it's a great business model for beginners, and how you can actually start making money from it. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean and I've made over $1.7 million in actual royalties from doing Amazon KDP, not from teaching it, from actually doing this business. And I've also taught this strategy to over 2,000 people in my programs. Many of them are also making great money with KDP. But before we move forward, I do have to add an obligatory disclaimer, which is that this is not financial advice. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a real business. And just because, the results that I got and also my students are getting are real, I am not lying about that. That does not mean that it is guaranteed that you will achieve the same. All right, with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Let's start with what is Amazon KDP and how it works. So Amazon KDP is Amazon's self-publishing business model. So essentially all you have to do is upload PDF files to Amazon. And these are just two files, right? One file for the book cover and another for the book interior or the content inside. And you upload that through Amazon KDP, which is a completely free program that you can sign up. There's no monthly fee, there's no sign up fee, nothing. You set the price, you publish the book, and within 24 to 72 hours, once Amazon reviews the book file, if everything looks good, then it'll be published on Amazon and people can start buying it. Now, the cool thing about this program is that despite selling a physical copy of the book, you can sell the ebook, you can also sell an audiobook as well. You don't have to pay upfront for inventory or manufacturing of the book because Amazon KDP operates on a print-on-demand model. This means that only after someone buys your book, Amazon will go and print out the book and then ship it over to the customer, which all of that is handled as well. So there's no inventory because it's print on demand, and the shipping and handling and customer service is all done by Amazon, so you don't have to do it. So why Amazon KDP is great for beginners? Well, normally in other businesses, most other business models requires you to do these things. Okay, so you have to do shipping and handling. You have to manage the inventory. You have to create a website to sell your products. You have to go get traffic to that website. You have to handle the customer service. Even after you make a sale, you're not done, right? Because some people want a refund, they have additional questions, those kind of things. So those works are on an ongoing basis. You always have to do marketing and promotions. This all comes with expensive fees and softwares and a lot of upfront risk for that reason. But just by going through Amazon KDP and selling your product on Amazon, literally everything I mentioned here is all done by Amazon. You don't have to do it. Again, shipping and handling gone, right? There are no inventories because it's all digital products or a print-on-demand model. You don't have to create a website because you sell directly on Amazon. Amazon has existing traffic. They handle the customer service. They handle the refund, right? They also have a lot of built-in marketing and promotions as well, even though you should do the marketing as well, but Amazon helps out a lot. And because you don't have to create your own website and all that, it doesn't come with expense fees and softwares and less upfront risk. So where can you sell your books if you go through Amazon KDP? Well, Amazon ships it to over 100 countries because Amazon is not just open in the US, it's open all over the world. And Amazon runs over 19 different marketplaces. Now, this is a question a lot of people ask. How much does it cost to get started? Well, the good news is Amazon KDP, once again, is completely free, right? It's completely free to open. There are absolutely no listing fees like, a fee that you pay when you upload your book. There's nothing like that, okay? Other platforms usually do have that, like if you go through Etsy. But with Amazon KDP, you don't have that. There's no monthly fees, once again. You only pay Amazon once you make a sale. So they take a small cut of a sale once you do. Now, in terms of how much does it cost to create your books to sell? Well, that is completely up to you, right? If you're creating your books, like if you're writing the book yourself or if you're doing DIY strategies, then it's completely free. If you do choose to outsource, so you pay someone else, like hiring a ghostwriter to create these books, then of course you will have to pay the ghostwriter. In exchange, you will save some time because you don't have to create these books yourself. But the good news is there are options, right? You can do everything for free or you can go and pay someone else to save some time. So some people do ask, is this legit? Like, how does Amazon make money if they're doing everything for you? Well, this once again comes down to Amazon taking a cut of your sale, right, as a fee for them to be handling the printing of the book, the shipping and handling, even customer service. So what is exactly the fees? Well, let me show you how you can calculate this. So I'll leave a link to this website, which is a royalty calculator. And this is for the print book. Again, if you sell ebooks, if you sell audiobooks, it's going to be different. But this is for the paperback book. So from here, you can enter whatever information you want. Typically, we sell books in paperback because the printing cost is a lot lower than hardcover option. But you can do that too if you want to. And same as this one. For the interior type, most of the time, it'll be black and white interior. Doesn't matter if it's white or cream. As long as it's black and white, the printing cost is a lot cheaper than if you would choose color interior. So we usually sell in black and white. wide. We can keep this at inches. For the trim size, let's do 5x8, which is one of the standard sizes. We'll keep the primary marketplace, Amazon.com, which is the US market. And let's just say our book is 100 pages and we're selling it at a straight 15 bucks. So based on this, we can see that this is how much we are going to actually make in royalties. So the royalty rate is going to be 60% if you're selling a paperback. So if you list your book at $15, then after subtracting printing costs, because printing cost is going to be $2.30, your estimated royalty is going to be $6.70. So every time you make a sale, you're keeping $6.70. Once again, the best part about Amazon KDP is that you don't have to pay any upfront fees, unlike other platforms. You only pay a cut once you make a sale. This is very different if you use other platforms. As an example, Etsy. A lot of people choose to sell products on Etsy as well. A lot of people even sell books on Etsy. And yes, it works, but there's a pretty clear difference compared to Amazon KDP. With Etsy, you have to pay a listing fee. So every time you list a product on Etsy, you have to pay a small fee, regardless of if you even made a sale or not. So you have to pay either way. So that is obviously going to be an upfront risk. And on top of that, they take a cut from every single sale. And you still have to handle most of the customer service. In fact, if you neglect responding to your customers, like a lot of times customers sends you a message, right? Send your shop a message on Etsy. And if you don't respond, then Etsy will penalize you. So you basically have to be on top of this like constantly. So it's not very passive in my opinion. Compared to this, Amazon KDP, once again, no listing fees. You only pay once you make a sale, and Amazon handles all the heavy lifting, all the customer service. So if you choose to just upload your book and let's say you don't want to do any work for 3 months, right? You just want to disappear. You could technically do this because you have zero customer service. And while you're gone for 3 months, your book could still continue to sell, which is the case for a lot of people. Once again, I cannot guarantee any results, but it is pretty typical to see your book sell here and there just by being on Amazon, because Amazon is that big and there's that many people searching on Amazon looking for books. So how do you get paid? Well, Amazon pays royalties every month, but there is a 60-day delay. So the way this works is if you start selling on Amazon KDP, the first 60 days, you're not going to get paid. But after that, you will get your first payment. And then from there, you're basically getting paid every single month. But everything is based on a 60-day delay. So whatever royalties you make in September will be paid out in November, if that makes sense. KDP connects to bank accounts in many different countries, but depending on which country you live in, sometimes it doesn't connect. As an example, we have students in India, but it seems like KDP doesn't connect to a Indian bank account. So what a lot of our students do is you can use a Wise or Payoneer or those different virtual bank accounts, and you can go through that and create a US bank account in less than 10 minutes, and that will connect to KDP. So it is a pretty easy workaround. So if you're wondering, can you do this while you're living outside of US? Yes, you can. We have a lot of students in India, Italy, France, Germany, many different countries. So what kind of books can you publish on Amazon KDP? Well, there are many different types of books. You can publish low content books like journals, planners, those books that often have a lot of blank pages. These are very easy to create, but oftentimes it's easier, so a lot of people are doing it, so it has more competition, but you can still make money from it. It's just that, you're competing with more people. There are also medium content books, so these are books that has a little bit more content inside. So we're talking activity books like puzzle books, coloring books, Sudoku books, those type of books. And this requires a little bit more effort because once again, there's more content inside. And for that reason, less people are willing to do it. So you have medium competition, I would say. And the last one is high content books. So these are, full-on fiction books, non-fiction books, how-to tutorial style books. And this takes more time because, the entire book has a lot of content, a lot of text, sometimes designs inside. So less people are willing to do it, lowest competition in my opinion. And this is actually what I like to do, but I also publish low content books. I like to publish medium content books. You can publish as many books as you want. So you can test everything, right? And see what you like and then just go from there. A lot of people ask me, what if I'm not a writer? Can I still do this business? Because the whole business model is selling books. Well, we have to understand that not all books are only text. There are a lot of books that has a lot of designs and very minimal text, or minimal designs and minimal text as well. Like, coloring books, activity books, journals, planners. Once again, you can do blank journals and that has barely nothing inside. If you still want to publish nonfiction, fiction, those high content books, but you're not a writer, you're not confident in your abilities, then what we do is use ghostwriters. So we hire other people to write our books. And this definitely costs money because you're hiring people. But the idea is that you invest into creating a high quality book and you make your money back over time. And nowadays you can start using AI to create these books as well. As an example, I have this video that I filmed on how you can use ChatGPT to create a nonfiction book that actually sells. So using AI is an amazing way to help you write faster. You never want to rely on AI 100%. Like I never, ever, ever, even once in my entire channel, say you can just copy paste, whip up a book in 10 minutes and you can publish. Like I never teach that, right? So you always want to edit the content, make sure it's good. You want to work with AI, but using AI cut costs and time significantly, right? It makes work way easier. So there's a right way of using AI. If you want to learn how to do that, then you can check out this tutorial. I'll leave a link in the description below. So next question is, what if I don't have design skills? Well, just like how you can hire ghostwriters if you don't have writing skills, you can also hire book cover designers or illustrators if you cannot design things yourself. As an example, if you are doing coloring books, right, there are gigs like these on Fiverr that'll create these coloring book pages for you. And these are some samples. As you can see, it looks pretty good. If you're looking to create a book cover for your activity books, there are gigs like this, right? For $35, you can create a book cover that looks pretty professional. And if you want someone to just create the entire book for you, including the book cover and the interior, there's someone like this, right? So this is a $45 gig. For $45, you get one book cover and an interior for a no content book. No content book is like a blank line journal, stuff like that. If you want a low content book that has some content inside, it'll be $75. But to have someone completely make an entire book for you, I think that is a pretty good price. And obviously, these are just examples. There are many other different types of gigs with different price point as well. But if you guys want to check out any of these, again, the link is in the description. But the bottom line to understand is that every single step in the Amazon KDP business, you have an option to either do the thing yourself or outsource it to someone. So there's always an option, right? So if you want to write the book yourself and save some money, definitely do it. Or if you just want to hire someone else to do it for you, you can do it too. If you don't have the money, then you can do it yourself. If you want to save time because you don't have time, you can pay someone else to do it for you. This applies to, again, every single step. So there's someone who is willing to do the work for you in book cover design, illustration, book formatting, even marketing the book. And how much you want to do things yourself and how much you want to outsource is completely up to you. So the big question is, how much can you actually make doing this business? So I'm going to show you example books in different categories here, just to show you what is possible. Now, again, I'm not saying that if you publish a book, you're guaranteed to make this much money, right? This is just what is possible. People are doing way more than this, sometimes a little less than this, but it really depends on how well you execute things. So this is a Christian girl energy journal. So this is an example of a low content book because it's a journal, right? It's a very simple guided journal. And I have this tool called Bookbeam. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description, but it tells us how much the book is making. So it's doing between 16 to 22 sales per day, and that comes out to around $164 to $226 per day in actual royalties. This is a letter tracing book, so this is an example of a medium content activity book, and this book is doing between $44 to $47 per day. This is a coloring book example, and this book is doing between $510 to $835 per day. And this is a nonfiction book example. It's a chair yoga for seniors made easy, and this book is doing, once again, hundreds of dollars per day. Now, there are books that are doing obviously less money, but there are books that are doing way more than this. So don't think that this is like the max amount you can make. Some people are doing insane amounts of money. Once again, I cannot guarantee anything, but I made a lot of money. My students are making a lot of money. So if you do things right, it can really be life-changing. Next, let's talk about book size and margins. It's a little bit more technical, but it is pretty good to know. So trim size is essentially how big your book is, right? So these are the common sizes. You don't have to use these sizes, but these are the most popular. So 6x9 for most nonfiction and fiction books. You can do 5x8, which is a little bit smaller. And this is for pocket fiction, also for nonfiction and smaller guys. 5x8 works very well as well. 8.5x11 is the biggest size, and these are good for workbooks, coloring books, because people want the pages to be big so they can color in, right? Also good for puzzle books. 8x10 is slightly smaller than 8.5x11. Good for children's picture books, but once again, these are just reference. You can make your book whatever size you want, but these are just the standard sizes. And if you're not sure what trim size you should use for your book, it's actually pretty easy to find out what other people are using, right? And so the best way to find out what size you should use is to just find your best-selling competitors in the same niche, and whatever size they're using is probably the best option for you, right? So all you have to do is open up your competitor product, and then you scroll down here, and it says dimensions, 8.5 by 8.5 inches. So this book is an 8.5 by 8.5. So if you're doing a similar coloring book, you can probably use the same size. So if you're doing a journal, as an example, you just do the same thing. This is a 6x9 journal, so maybe you should also do a 6x9. The next thing to know is bleed. Okay, so you don't have to get super technical with this, but just understanding the basic. Bleed is essentially when a element goes all the way to the edge of the page, because when a book gets printed, 0.125 inches from all corners gets cut off. So you want to make sure your images, your elements goes all the way to the edge, a little bit beyond the cutoff point if you want a clean cutoff like this. This is a good example, right? If you don't do this, and if you don't, take your elements all the way to the edge, basically after the printed version, you see a white border, which does not look professional. So this is just something to keep in mind. Next is margins. So margins are the safe zone inside your page. It's kind of similar to bleed. Margins are essentially these extra space before the page gets cut off to where the text ends. And you want to keep this in mind because if your text goes all the way to the edges over here, once the book gets printed, sometimes it can get cut off if you don't have enough margins. Now, in terms of how much margin should you put, kind of changes depending on page count and if it's with a bleed or no bleed setting. There is a page where you can calculate this. It's this page right here, trim size, bleed, and margins. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to get to this page. But there is a reference on how much margin you should add into your interior pages, depending on the page count of the book. So depending on how much pages you have, and also if it's a bleed or no bleed setting, these are the margins that you should have. Now keep in mind though, this only applies if you're doing your book formatting yourself. If you choose to outsource because you don't want to deal with this, then you don't have to learn this. But if you want to format your books yourself, I actually got a lot of tutorials on my channel, so you guys can go and check that out. In terms of what files you need when you're uploading on KDP, well, for the ebook file, you need a Word doc for the interior and a JPEG for the book cover. And for the paperback, you will need a PDF for the interior and a PDF for the book cover. All right, next one is a big one. How do you start actually getting sales? So the great thing about Amazon is by far the biggest online retail store in the entire world. It's not even close with the second one. So Amazon has the most amount of organic traffic that you will ever find compared to other platforms. So just by being on Amazon, the chances are pretty high that you will make organic sales. Again, I cannot guarantee anything, okay? I'm just saying this because my channel is getting bigger. I need to add disclaimers, but the chances are pretty good that you're gonna make some organic sales here and there just by being on Amazon. But these are just sales here and there. It's not like all the time consistently, right? So you're gonna make a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. But a lot of people doing this business, they want to make life-changing income, right? They want to quit their job. And if you want to make that level of sales, then you also have to help Amazon push your book. So basically, Amazon only pushes books people want. And the way they find out if this book is something people want or not is if you get reviews for your book, if you get sales for your book first, right? By showing Amazon that your book actually is, something that gets good reviews, it's getting sales already, right? Because you're also doing the marketing, and it shows Amazon that, hey, people are liking this book. Let's also push it up, show it to more people, and see if more people want it. So that is how Amazon starts helping you with more organic traffic. And so you're also getting sales, right? Yourself with your own marketing efforts, but the organic free sales that you make from Amazon pushing your book will go up as well. So in terms of what kind of marketing you can do yourself, the first one is social media marketing. This is a free way of marketing your book. You can start posting content about your book on TikTok, Instagram. Simple videos works well, so it doesn't have to be complicated. You already have all the gears you need to make these videos on social media. You don't need to buy new equipment or anything, okay? There are different groups on these social media platforms like Book Talk, Bookstagram. These are huge community of readers that are blowing up right now. They're trending, right? And you could tap into. Just to give you a quick example, we have this book, the Shadowwork Journal, right? It's doing between $137 to $194 a day. So it's doing pretty good, right? A couple $1,000s a month. And the way they market this book is extremely simple. You just order your own copy and then you just film it. You're not showing your face. Oftentimes, you're not even talking. You're just flipping through the pages, maybe filling out one activity like these ones, right? And then you're essentially just using your own book and showcasing that. And those videos are the simplest to make, but it's always the ones that gets the most amount of views. So you want to start creating these videos, start posting on social media as one way of marketing. But just like with the book production phase, you have an option if you want to save money or you want to save time. So if you don't have a lot of time to make these videos, then you can just run Amazon ads. So you spend money to have your book seen to more people. Amazon ads is by far the most effective and cheapest way to run ads for your book. And you can start with as low as $3 a day. For beginners, I recommend you only increase the budget if you're profiting. And once you learn it, it's a lot simpler than you think. I got a step-by-step tutorial for beginners, which is this video. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. So the way this works is as you get more sales, right, from your own marketing efforts, your book will start moving up higher and higher in the rankings. And when that happens, you will get more and more organic sales. And the more sales you get in general, whether it's from organic or from your own efforts, Amazon will then push it more and you'll start making more sales. And essentially the snowball effect kicks in. And the last thing I want to show you here is if you want to check if you're making sales or not, or how much, sales you made, all you have to do is go to your KDP dashboard, click on reports here, and then you will see the report of your sales. So this is for my second KDP account. I actually sold the first account after making multiple six figures a year, for a couple of years. I sold it for $820,000. I started a new one. And so far for this account, we made over $443,000 from KDP, including audiobooks and a couple different channels. It's probably around $550,000 so far. So if you watched until this point and you're like, this sounds pretty good, what is the best way for me to get started? Then you do have a couple options here. Number one is I do have a complete Amazon KDP coaching program. So it's not just a course. You do have a full, complete step-by-step video lessons, but it heavily focuses on actual coaching. So you get to work with a coach and they will help you basically, go through this business step-by-step. So you can apply for the coaching program if you're interested in learning more. It's the first link in the description. When you click on it, it'll take you to a page like this and you can book a free 30-minute strategy session, talk to one of our coaches and see if this program is a good fit for you. I still publish myself, but to be completely honest, I am heavily focused on teaching other people to do the same because I went from zero to becoming a millionaire from doing Amazon KDP. And so I've already made the amount of money and I'm still making money from KDP, but now I'm trying to help other people to also start making money with KDP. And so I put a lot of effort in my coaching programs. We have an extremely high rating on Trustpilot if you guys want to check it out. But either way, that is option number one. Option number two is if option number one, going through a program is too much of a step for you, then I do have a bunch of videos, many tutorials for free on my YouTube channel. So there's this one Amazon KDP tutorial that kind of goes over every single step by step. Again, the link is in the description. It's not as in-depth, nowhere close to how in-depth the course is or the actual paid program is. But, for a free version, I think this is as good as it gets. So this is a great way to get started as well. And with that being said, that is the end of the video. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.